Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm still watching my screen scroll, so I'm gonna give it a minute. See if you guys are able to connect out there. How's everybody doing today? Today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Is it July the 27th or the 28th? I think it's the 28th. Yep, July 28th. Um, I'm so glad that you're here. So every day, so let me kind of back up a little bit. My name is Crispina French, and I run a business that is called Crispina. It's the same as my first name. And I am an avid, lifelong textile recycling entrepreneur, and I am really focused on environmentalism and social justice and empowerment and helping people understand their individual impact and their individual ability to be a force for good. So I have a 30-day series that we are on day number 16 today, and all the recordings from the last couple of weeks worth of daily episodes are in my Facebook feed, and they're also over on my YouTube channel. So please share them and watch them and give me suggestions, ideas, feedback about future episodes or about anything that you might have learned here. So thank you so much for being with me. And hi, Joanne Richards, and thank you. Yeah, the 28th. I got it on my handy little glass device here. Um, Thanks for that. So today we're going to talk about a subject that sort of crosses over everybody's uh, radar, if you will, and we're going to talk about masks. And the last time I did a 30-day mini series on here on Facebook, I did a tutorial all about how to make masks, and you can. It's probably easier to search that. I don't know how it is to search things like that on Facebook, but you can certainly search it on my YouTube and learn my process. So when I started making masks back masks. Um, I started making masks in March, I believe it was, or maybe it was in April. I saw a video that was produced in, I think it was in Holland, about the amount of protection that masks bring to people who are out around other people who may or may not be infected with the coronavirus. And it just made a lot of sense to me, and it seems like a really non invasive way to keep yourself safe and keep your community safe. So I have a girlfriend who runs a couple of pretty good sized dispensaries, cannabis dispensaries up in Vermont. And all of her employees were furloughed while they were trying to figure out what to do, what was a safe work environment going forward. So I shared the video with my friend Bridget, and she immediately ordered 75 masks from me to protect her employees. So that's kind of how I got started. And at the time I was scared to leave my house. I didn't know, what was safe. I didn't know if it was okay to go to the thrift store. I didn't know if it was okay to. I just didn't know, and I still don't know. I think I've just become more comfortable with the not knowing. But everything I made Bridget's masks from were recycled, so mostly men's dress shirts. Um, and I just had a stash of material in my studio at the time that was suitable fabric. So lightweight cotton, men's dress shirt weight material works really well. Quilting fabric, that kind of stuff. So being the die-hard recycler that I am, I always try to use materials that I've scavenged along the way. I have a lot of material in my studio that I get from different manufacturers who send me their waste. So I have a dear friend who I've met through my scrap project, who is an amazing upholsterer, and she sends me her waste material, which is actually a lot because when you make upholstery, like the chair, like the pattern of the fabric needs to be centered right on the chair so that it looks symmetrical, and so there's large pieces of scrap that might have been on either side of the cut. So I use, so these are the masks that I make. And I make them in, they're reversible. And I make them in 3 different kind of color options. And this is our dark neutral color option. And you can see this fabric on the outside here is from my friend who has the upholstery company. And it's just like this beautiful linen, it's a little heavyweight, but it's linen, so it's nice and cool for the hot weather. And then I have this other groovy print on the inside. So this would be considered a dark neutral option. And then I have light pastels. This is another piece of Mimi's awesome fabric. And it's lined with, a men's dress shirt material that's this kind of, preppy guy pink with stripes. And then I also do them, here's another light pastel one. And I also do them in super fun brights, like this one reverses to this beautiful silk that I got from her. And here's another one that's kind of a fun bright, nice plaid. And then this funky fabric that I found in Amsterdam when I was over there a couple of years ago. So I'm showing you these because initially I was making the masks that I learned to make on YouTube, and I'm going to try to find the original. It's in here. Okay, this is an original. It's been washed a bunch of times. So the 3-pleat style. So there's 3 pleats down either side, and then there's the ear loops. And I learned a bunch of things, like when you actually wear this mask and you talk to people, it kind of works its way down and becomes, first your nose starts hanging out and it really slides right down. There's nothing that really holds it here. And in addition, as someone who wears eyeglasses, I can contest to it was really hard to keep from the my glasses fogging up. So I devised this new trick, and actually my girlfriend Sherry out in Boulder, who has an awesome company, she and I worked on this together. So there's a little pleat right here, and I'm just going to show you a couple I have pinned. So this is how I pin them. So I have the 3 pleats on either side, and then I have these nose pleats in the middle, and that keeps the kind of front of it. First of all, you can kind of perch your glasses on that pleat, and it keeps your glasses from fogging, and it also allows you to have a conversation without running the risk of having your mask slip down. So they're really comfortable. I have worn a whole bunch of different kinds of masks. My husband, who is a contractor and is out and about a lot, picks them up for me when he sees them at different locations for sale, just to kind of find out about comfort and function. And so far, this is the one that works the best. So, they're machine wash and dryable. This is not elastic. This is a nice soft, these are actually made out of recycled clothing, spandex cotton blend. So it's not like hard, it's not a hard edge behind your ear. So if you're one of those people who has to wear a mask like all day when you're working, this is a great option. So I do make these and I do sell them in my shop. I charge $20, including domestic shipping in the United States. But I also encourage you to make your own, because I'm sure that if you're like most people, you have some clothing kicking around your house that is probably looking for a bigger purpose in its life than sitting in a bag in the back of your closet or whatever. So yeah, there's a YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is I'll put it, I'm not sure, my YouTube channel is just under my name, which is Crispina French on YouTube. YouTube. You can search the mask tutorial. And yeah, and then if you have any questions or anything, holler out. But I do, okay, so then we're going to talk about masks for a minute, right? There's all of this different information floating around about wearing masks, not wearing masks, what's the right thing to do. And I just feel like I read another article this morning in the New York Times about just how effective masks, the simple wearing of a mask is to combating the transmission of coronavirus. So even if you are, skeptic, even if you feel like, um, masks are uncomfortable or they're hot or whatever, which I know they are, and you're right, they are uncomfortable, and yes, they're much hotter than if you don't wear a mask. But I can tell you that if we all take responsibility right now and just do everything that we can to curb the spread of this virus, that we'll be curbing the spread of this virus for a much shorter period of time. Um, I have been really committed to doing what I can to help with that. And it's funny, I live in a very rural place, which I talk about often, and I just want to, the other day I was at the beach, and I talked about this too, and I was flabbergasted at how lackadaisical everyone there was. So I can't go to the beach. I will not go back there. I don't want to wear a mask at the beach. I want to play in the water, and I want to bask in the sunshine. And I will go to the beach when it's not crowded. Like last night, my kids and I went and jumped in the lake, and it was so nice. It was 7 o'clock at night. There was just a handful of people there. People were really respectful, keeping distant, and the water felt so good after such a very hot day. So there's always a workaround, okay? But in the meantime, I really encourage everybody to wear a mask. And we just got notice that our younger daughter's school will be back in session in September. We're kind of not really fully decided on whether or not we'll be sending her, but all the kids are in school and they all have to wear masks all day long. We're going to need a whole bunch more masks, and I feel like it's really important, especially for the kids, to have masks that they feel comfortable in and they feel like the look of, and they go with their outfits or whatever, because you know how teenage girls can be with the outfits. So multiply that by 2, and you've got my household wrapped up in a nutshell. So does anybody have any comments, ideas, thoughts about masks, about other masks they might have tried or worn? I have a couple samples here this was made by a dear friend of mine, and she makes the style, the tie. So this is a nice style for, first of all, let me just show you. I'm going to get close to the camera here. This is made from a piece of vintage tablecloth. Let me see if I can get the light right. So it's all like hand embroidered, and it's like so beautiful. And it also is reversible to just a kind of a plainer look. But this is a nice style mask. If you're the kind of person like I am at work, where I wear this around my neck, and I'm not around people for the most part, but there are people who work downstairs. So if I need to go use the kitchen or the bathroom, I can just, pop this on this way. And it's easy to always know where it is. Whereas the ear loop kind, I find more comfortable if I'm like in a place where I'm wearing a mask for a long period of time, like say the grocery store or something like that. It's a little easier for breathing, and you can just put it in your pocket. They're quite small. I've actually found a few in my pocket, like in the laundry, after it goes through the wash machine. Oh, what's this big thing in my pocket? Oh, it's a mask. So the and then my husband often wears like the N95s that are more industrial in appearance and probably a little bit more protective. Although I have to say that he doesn't like them. They're so hot. They're very, very hot. So if you have the opportunity to wear a cotton mask, I encourage you to do that. So there's a couple things I have to say about materials. Okay, so we were talking about using recycled materials. First of all, I hear from you guys a lot that you have craft stash. I actually belong to a group here on Facebook where there was a woman took a picture of her craft stash, and she had fabric in tubs that paled in comparison to the materials that I use for my business. And she was just an individual, like she didn't have a business. And she was like, "What do I do with all of this?" And I was like, "Donate it." I hate having a lot of extra stuff around. But So if you have craft stash, if you have fabric that you bought for some use that has long since passed out of your idea of passion, um, this is a great opportunity to use it, especially if it's natural fiber. And the thing that's nice about masks is that they're a rectangle when you cut the fabric, so it's pretty easy to cut multiples at one time, and make a few and give them out to your friends and neighbors. If the kids go back to school this fall, um, there's going to be an increased demand for masks, and even if the kids don't go back to school this fall, I feel like we're going to be all wearing masks for quite some time. So material, yeah, use the craft stash that you might have already. If you have clothing that you're not using that's fun patterns, or something that you might never actually want to wear, could make a really fun mask, like just a smaller piece, something that you wear kind of intermittently. It's not like wearing, if it's a dress, a big piece of brightly colored floral print might be a little overwhelming for you, but to have that as like a fun little accent, especially because these times are so uncertain and people feel like there's a little kind of global darkness going on right now, and if we can brighten that up a little bit with some fun patterns, check this out. This fabric it's a silk fabric, and it's just so lovely. It's kind of shimmery and it's really soft next to your skin, and it's really breathable. So, um, recycled fabrics are great for the masks, and so you want to check a couple things. I feel like natural fibers, like I'm not a scientist, but it seems to me as though if you have something over your nose and mouth that you're breathing through, especially for any extended period of time, you want to have that material be a natural fiber. Um, I've talked before about microplastics, and we hear about microplastics, and it's generally um, in relation to our oceans, where they've been doing a ton of research, and scientists have found that there's microplastics spread throughout the whole ocean. There's very little, if any, ocean water on the planet that doesn't have traces of microplastics in it. So microplastics come from humans who are wasteful, who throw garbage away in the wrong place, or you know, countries like probably the United States who take barges of trash out into the ocean and just leave them there because there's nothing else to do with it or that is what we do at this point. I think that we need to figure out a better alternative, but it also comes from us wearing plastic clothing. Like there's microplastics inside of human bodies that comes from us eating food with plastic, wearing plastic clothing, breathing air that's contaminated with plastic. So all of those things contribute to the lack of health in our bodies and on our planet. So it's really important, I think, to just consider, if you can, going with a natural fiber option. And maybe there's science out there that tells me that that's not the right thing. So if you have information like that, it'd be great to learn about it. But just from my little experiment in life that I've been walking around on the planet for 54 years now, so I've learned a little bit on my way. So that's my recommendation. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not seeing any comments today, and I feel like normally there's a whole bunch, and I'm not sure if I'm just not getting them, if you guys are able to hear me, or what's going on. Let me know where you're from and what you're up to, and also don't forget, if you tag your friends in the feed and you pop me your mailing address, I'll send you a little surprise in the mail. My sister and I run this really cool screen printing business in addition to my textile company. It's called the Dolphin Studio, and we make these really beautiful limited edition signed and numbered prints that are just a small 6x9 inch print. We have frames to go with them. If you really love them a bunch, you can order one of those. And I'll send you one in the mail if you pop me your mailing address after tagging a friend in the comments. So while you're out there today, wear a mask. So in addition, I put a little lipstick on today. So I don't want to model one of these masks. Actually, maybe I should, because they are very cool. I'm just going to Can you see how my glasses are kind of on top of the mask? And it keeps them from fogging, remarkably. And these ear loops are, I have a pretty big head, so the ear loops are comfortable on me, but if they're a little big for you, you can adjust them by just taking it and making a little slip knot in the ear loop. And then what else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, they're just comfortable. They sit right on your face. There's oh, the other thing I was going to say is about earrings, right? Like these earrings I wear, I love these earrings. They're like my favorite pair. I got them for Christmas from my family last year, and they're nice and light and they don't come out. But earrings and masks with ear loops are kind of a sorry combination of things. I really like big dangly earrings, and I don't know, those are just not a great option these days. And then the other thing is um, lipstick. I'm so glad I'm not in the lipstick business because I bet you sales are plummeting at the moment. um, so there's that, and I think I'm going to sign off, you guys. I think that if you are out in the world, wear a mask, and if you see people who are not wearing masks, remind them that your mask protects them and their mask protects you. So it's really important, if you're around people who are not wearing masks, that you are actually not protected. Even if you are wearing a mask, their germs are heading right in your direction. So um, that is all I have to say to you guys today. If you have input, ideas, thoughts, other masks that you've really find yourself liking or disliking, let us know. Share your ideas, and I'd love to learn more from you on this. And then tomorrow, I'll be back live at 11. I'll be live at 11 right here on Facebook and on. Oh, they're actually not live on my YouTube channel. I can't run both platforms at the same time, but they are posted to YouTube after. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a great day, everybody.